Who's the one?
I'm Loz and I do vocals.
I'm Sean, I play guitar in While She Sleeps.
Great. So you just released a record in April.
That's right, yeah.
How were the reviews so far?
Been incredible, really. Like from the start of when we started building the warehouse to the end result of the record, it's been really positive for us. Like the whole thing's been great.
Yeah, not really a bad word to be said about it. Really, it's been really inspiring to see that we've been sat on this work for so long, and then we release it, and everyone's behind us. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's been good.
Right. How long did it take to write this?
Ages. Best part of 2 years, maybe 2 or 3 years.
We never really stopped writing. Like Sean's always writing riffs and music. I'm always writing lyrics down whenever it comes into the head. So it's like an ongoing process.
So since we've been a band, it's just like it's constantly writing. Do you know what I mean? So we release an album and then the writing continues. So since this is the 6th and Brainwashed, it's still writing. So
there's one special song on the album.
Just one?
Featuring Oliver Sykes from Bring Me the Horizon.
Is that the only special one?
No, it's special because he is doing the guest vocal. Actually, how did you come to that collaboration?
We toured with them in Europe and Australia, and they heard bits and bobs of the record. They heard parts of it, and then Ollie showed an interest in getting involved and really liked the sort of the progression and the direction the album was taking and the music. And then sort of, after touring with them a little while, we sort of came up with the idea of maybe he wanted to jump on for a song, and he seemed really keen and started writing a few lyrics and stuff, and then the band went away and we kind of did the same, and then we found the part, and then it kind of just evolved, and it happened to be what is Silent Speaks now. But yeah, it's really cool. He showed a lot. Ollie was really interested and really positive about the whole thing, and it was nice to see someone show like an interest. And
I think it was just really inspired by what we were doing. Like he wanted to help out in any way he could. You know what I mean? So it was just like he kind of came to us and like, is there anything I can do to help? And then we were like, yeah, guest vocal would be great.
Yeah, he liked the trying to release the album independently and the building of the warehouse, and like I say, the direction of the music. So yeah, it kind of made sense for him to get involved. He was behind it.
But it will be pretty difficult to play that song live.
No, I got it nailed. It's fine.
No, we can do anything.
Okay, if you had to pick one song from the current album, which you would say is your favorite?
I won't do it. I like everyone's.
Okay.
Well, it changes. So yeah, like maybe one day Wide Awake could be my favourite, and then a few weeks later, then it changes. But I mean, I haven't listened to it. Like, at the minute, Settled Down Society is probably my favourite. But
yeah,
I think we're super proud of it as a whole. Like each song complements the last. I mean, they all make sense as a whole. So I feel like the album is my favourite. You know?
Yeah, I like some of the songs you sit with for a little bit longer than the other. Some songs are sort of straight in your face, and they come forward as like the best ones or whatever, and then a few weeks later when once we've sat back from recording and we get to listen to it, then other songs start creeping up and start being more of your favourite and stuff. I think the whole album is, you give it a few listens and the whole thing starts growing on you more.
Because the singles get so much attention just because they've been released, but we put the same amount of effort and love into each song, but obviously we can't release 11 singles and 11 videos because we don't have the monies to do so. But each song is, we love it just as much as the rest, but the singles get more attention. So Hurricane. Hurricane's a great song. So
when it comes to the lyrics, who's his main songwriter?
We all chip in really. Sean's sung on this album more than it has done, and Matt writes and I write, and we all sort of throw it in where we can. I think it's a nice way to do it. You get a real collaboration of each member there, and you get to, it changes from sort of one person's perspective to another. So it's nice in a way to like chop into other people's parts and throw lyrics around. I think the interesting thing for us is that we were writing a lot over sort of what felt like a divided nation, or a few divided nations with like the Brexit and like big decisions and votes being made. And I think the interesting thing for me is sometimes a personal emotion can be described in the same way as sort of a divide, so a divide in a nation. So it's weird to see them sort of pair together and how they mirror each other quite nicely. It was like a fascinating thing for me working on the album.
And how do you put your ideas together? Is it just you record at home and send it to the other guys, or how does it work?
It kind of starts spread. So like I'll start with some music that'll be ongoing for a long time. Like Loz says, he'll be writing lyrics just with no pressure, no reason to write, just for fun. Matt will be doing the same. So the writing's already happening in the sleeps camp. Do you know what I mean? And then after time goes on, then we slowly start to bring these things together. So it'll always start with the bass line of maybe music. So then we've got some riff, and then we'll maybe try and work the lyrics to the riff, and then does it work? And then slowly it starts to
piece the jigsaw together.
Yeah, but it starts separately always.
It's really weird as well. Sometimes you can have a big section of music and it's set out in a way, and sometimes you can just chop a bit out and say, let's try it this way around,
or you can grab this bit and move it to another song and it works magically.
It's nice to kind of switch it up sometimes from what you initially think, and then completely wipe it and start like moving parts and trying different sections when you're jamming together, and it's nice.
Well, talking about touring, what's your favorite part of touring besides playing live, of course?
I think the most thing is that if we had other jobs, then we probably wouldn't get to see as many parts of the world as we do. Like, I sort of get out of the tour bus sometimes, I don't know where I am, but it's nice to say that, I've been there and it was cool, and being on the road with your mates every day is, 5 years.
Routine, I really like the routine, do you know what I mean? Like, you wake up, you get some food, you can look around the city, then you go and sound check, go and chill, warm up, play the show, maybe have a drink after the show, then go to bed, wake up, do it again. Like, it's a nice routine from being at home doing fuck all. So. Yeah,
it's like different every day as well. You don't know what to expect when you get up, so that's quite exciting sometimes. And seeing parts of the world, playing festivals and stuff. I guess the main thing is just kind of being our own bosses and getting to hang out together is the main thing.
Yeah.
Like,
do you prefer playing festivals or more the intimate club shows?
I think it changes. You know what I mean? Like, you can love a festival, you love a club show. It's just. If you did festivals all the time, you'd want to do club shows. Do you know what I mean? So
I think the thing for me is sometimes if you're playing like a main stage or whatever at a festival and it's slightly windy, or like things like that can mess with your sound and stuff. Whereas in a venue, I feel like you know what sound you're getting, and also it holds a lot of that energy, so you get a real buzz in the room. Sometimes for me, in like an open air thing, that gets kind of lost. Yeah. But like I say, every show's different, and we just love playing in general. It's cool.
Did you ever have a worst experience on tour?
A worst experience?
Yes.
Oh, we've got loads.
I've had many a worst.
Yeah, it's hard to pick.
I bet I can't think of one.
It's one of them things, when you go to a jukebox and you want to put some music on and you just go and stand there and decide I don't know what to play. I would say as a young band we broke down a lot over in Europe, it's all still kind of fun, like it's not really the worst.
It can get sometimes it can get a little bit stressful and a little bit tiring, but that's just as a whole, like anything does really. But then it always comes back through, and it's the best time ever. So
I don't really know what the worst time.
On tour.
We got really, really burnt once in
Australia,
in Perth, in Australia.
We
were all like lobster.
I cried myself to sleep. Because I couldn't move, and I lay next to my tour manager, and I literally just cried to sleep because I couldn't move.
It's horrible. You're like, oh, it's like so stupid to get burnt like that. But we've had tons of crazy experiences.
Yeah, it's all part of it, innit? You have bad experiences in everything. So.
Your favorite country to tour?
I really like touring Asia, but nowhere specifically in Asia. But Asia's just so fun, so different to where we live.
Everywhere's got its cool places.
Yeah, but then Europe, we've got a close connection with Europe because it was the first place we left to from England. You know what I mean? So that's always got like a nostalgic vibe to it.
Yeah, it's sick. But like I say, Australia's cool, Southeast Asia's cool.
The world's cool.
Yeah, the world's a pretty cool place. Especially with the weather like today, it's great. And we always have a really good time in Germany as well, like festivals or whatever. So it's difficult to say. Canada's great. It's everywhere.
Everywhere's great.
Everywhere's just great.
Renisha's fucking great.
Renisha's really great.
Stabler's cool.
Yeah.
When you tour with other bands, is there any band you would like to play with and you didn't play before?
Oh, tons.
Oh, yeah.
Tons. Darkest Hour, Norma Jean, Rancid, Thrice. That's like a collective of bands.
Yeah.
Killswitch Engage.
Yeah.
Lamb of God, just loads. I think as a collective, every band member would say a different band like for you. But yeah, there's tons of bands that we haven't toured with that we'd love to play with.
Yeah.
I'd love to play with. I would have loved to support like Sabbath or something like that, Motorhead, but you know.
Fuck 'em.
So when you started playing music, who were your biggest idols?
Dark South Rise.
The same.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
they're the bands that we all sort of like.
Rage Against the Machine and like Blink-182 kind of got me into playing guitar, and Sum 41, bands like that. It influenced me to be like, what is this thing that they're all playing, and like that got me to play guitar. But that was probably the start of it for me.
Yeah, I listened to a lot of like Slipknot, and then moving like all that sort of new metal stuff, like Slipknot, Marilyn Manson, Limp Bizkit, Korn, like, and then moving from that out of that into like others like metalcore, like Killswitch Engage and bands like that.
Do you also listen to music which is not metal?
Oh, aye.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot.
5 Steps.
London Grammar's new record's really cool. I think they're a UK-based band, but I heard a lot about the name, but never checked them out. And it's really kind of mellow. It's like a female singer, and her voice is beautiful. I've been listening to a lot of that.
I've been listening to Daft Punk lately.
You have?
Nice. Right into it.
Nice. But yeah, we don't just listen to metal. We listen to it if we hear it and we like it. We
like folk stuff and country music, like everything. We like it. Like we're not just like all the time. It's a collection. You can probably hear that in the music too. We're not just
full weight metal.
Yeah, it's not all about that. It's about everything.
What's your favourite part of coming home from a tour?
Coming home.
Coming home.
I'm only kidding.
You know,
it's nice. Yeah, it's nice to, like I say, like I like the schedule, the routine. But when you get home, it's nice to have a little bit of time where there's nothing, where you can actually do nothing and just relax and maybe go for a walk and just.
Yeah, cause it's so 100 miles an hour on tour. You like wake up, play, just do that, have a drink,
and
party,
just to be able to sit and do nothing is my favourite thing to do.
Yeah.
So you don't have any normal jobs at home?
No.
Taking care of my bird, that's about it.
We built a warehouse from scratch, so we spend a lot of our time there, just hanging out and like, you know, starting the whole process again. Trying to look.
I mean, we have to work when we're at home. Like we have to continue the band work and everything. Everyone's always busy, but there's less of a schedule to it, so we can. It's more on our watch to when we want to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nice. I think anywhere's nice if you take yourself away from it for a little while, and then going back home. It's always nice to see like family and friends and girlfriends and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, you can't eat the same cake all the time and be stoked. Do you know what I mean?
Gotta change that cake sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe have some carrot cake.
Oh yeah, dude, that lasts a while. That can eat that for a bit.
Did you learn any professions?
You what?
Any professions?
Like besides the band?
So besides the band, of course.
I'm just a wizard on the guitar. That's all
I'm just a professional shouter.
Any professions? I did art and design and graphics in college. I did really well at it, but then I left for a job, and then I left the job for the band. No.
You mean are we professional at anything else apart from the band?
Yeah, like any of the.
I'm a professional drinker.
He's really good at drinking. Like the best I know.
So you getting paid for it?
No, what he wants to, maybe in the future, is like a potential.
Yeah, he's gonna pay me to taste beer and stuff.
He's really good.
Really good. No, I've had jobs. A lot of the jobs that I've had are like working closely with like people with like disabilities and stuff like that. I did that for quite a while, and that was like, it was nice in terms of like job satisfaction. You know, I'm not like the brightest person ever, but it was nice to be able to use whatever I could to help someone else. It was cool. I think I've taken a bit of that into the band. You know, like meeting people and like spending a bit of time with them and being sympathetic to their like, you know, their
compassion towards people.
Yeah, compassion towards what they get from the band and things like that. So yeah,
because we've been essentially fanboys when we were younger to like our idols. You know what I mean? We understand that to some people they really like us, so we like to show them respect as if we would have liked when we were younger. Do you know what I mean? Instead of just palming off, it's not really fair. So we understand. I think compassion's the word. We know that what they might be feeling when they see a band that they love, so we try and show them.
Yeah, we try and spend as much time as possible with our fans and like give them time. I think that our fans know that as well. that we really have respect for the people that support our band. It's nice. There's nice.
Yeah, it's getting out that we treat them that way, which is cool because it's no secret. Do you know what I mean? That without the fans, there is no band. This is with any band in the world. There is. How are they supposed to like maintain this cool lifestyle without the fans? So it's nice to show them some respect. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're a member of the band too because we won't be able to do it without them. So it's nice to give back.
Okay, what comes next after the tour?
We go home for about 2 days and then we leave for Australia. We're going out there to support In Heart's Wake that came over to the UK and supported our tour. So we're going over there and we're going to spend 2 weeks there playing shows with them.
They've got a new album out, go check it.
Go and check the new album out and yeah, after that we come back.
We nip over to Asia after Australia and then
we've got like a few UK festivals and then in August we headline Leeds and Reading on like a heavy stage at Leeds and Reading. So it's going to be wicked. Good summer lined up.
Yeah.
Great. The famous last words to your fans?
If you know the band, then thank you very much for helping us out and being supportive. And if you don't know us, where the fuck have you been?
Yeah.
Peace out.
Peace.
Great.